Hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well-rounded nerd. As you can see, I'm not in my office. This is my husband's office, which hopefully over the next couple weeks I will get to start redecorating. Um, if you follow my channel for any amount of time, I moved from where I used to live to where he lives after we got married, and remodeling must happen. She's a lover of color. But not just that, both of the kids are college age. So one has already moved out. She had moved out before me and my husband got married, but son lives with us, and he's in college and works. It's all good. But when we decided that I would move here, we were, it was one of those things where it was like, do we live in my city? Do we live in your city? Like, where can we have the best quality of life? His city was the better quality of life, especially for the types of jobs we have. But then, there's, where do we want to live? Do we sell both houses, buy a new house? Do we invest in a house and make it the greatest thing ever? And we opted for invest in this house, make it what we want, to never have to move again. Because he's got one of those, well, we have a one level home with a zero threshold entry, which, if you are, under 30, you may not care about that. But zero threshold entry means that when we get older, no stairs, zero stairs. So what we decided was to build my husband a detached garage for his workshop. And then we're putting a bedroom unit on the back of that. And it's almost done. But that bedroom unit's going to be the college son's apartment until he graduates and moves out. And then I'm going to start doing redecorating in the house because I've got to shift rooms around to do that. The first two spaces I'm going to do are my son's old bedroom are going to become is going to become our new like game room in the house. Yeah, I know. This is what happened when nerds unite. And my husband's office will still be his office and our paint stuff will still be in here, but I'm going to totally like redo his office. So you've seen mine, the manga on the walls, the pink walls, wall scrolls, action figures. My husband's not into that, but he loves D&D. He loves his orcs. So I'm going to do like a D&D theme in his office, like the wall that we face. So you'll see the wall when I do it. But I'm going to do like a mural on this wall. Yeah, she has those kinds of skills. Of like orcs marching over a hill with like a sunset behind them with like, here we go, like outlined in letters. And on this wall, I'm gonna make it look cool and dungeony. So yeah, that's what's coming. So my husband's office is different, but dudes and women are different. I'm not even gonna call it a dude and women thing. It's just a people thing. Everyone's different. I'm a. It's weird. I'm a simple person, but I like pretty things. Like, I don't need what I have to be fancy. It just has to be cute. Like these earrings I'm wearing. One of my aunts gave them to me, but I think these are like dollar earrings. Don't care. 'Tis the season, y'all. Ho ho ho. My husband being Santa Claus and all, she really leans into it. Holiday season, like I'm just like, Santa. It's an excuse. So, anywho, the reason I'm here tonight, I'm getting ready to go to Working Wednesday, which used to be called Brush and Banter, but now it's Working Wednesday because people bring all the projects they have to the hobby shop. And then one we're going to tonight will be High Ground Hobbies. Yes, so we go to that one a lot, and we also go to Mastermind. I love them both. If y'all both watch this, I love you equally. um, but we have a lot of friends that go to that one. We got a lot of friends that go to the other one. But the Working Wednesday night, we go to the High Ground Hobbies, and people just bring everything. So they bring stuff that they are painting. They bring stuff that they, um, maybe wanted to. Uh, I've lost all my words. A girl came last week and she was there with her boyfriend. He'd been threatening to bring her forever and finally did. Yay. I'm always trying to get more girls in the hobby shop. But she worked on needlepoint. There was a young man there. He was painting realistic dinosaurs. Yeah, so it's for everyone. It's not just for those of us who are into wargaming, which I really appreciate. I like the two shops that we go to, we like them because they fostered a really good atmosphere of people wanting to be there. Which if you've ever gone to places that cater to nerds, that's not always how it feels. Unfortunately. Sometimes it unintentionally, I think, environments of exclusivity are created and it makes people feel like they shouldn't be there unless they know the code. um, but that is not the case. So what I am doing right now is doing a little bit of rearranging on my table, because what I'm doing is just getting prepped to go. I'm going to take some items outside for my husband here in a minute, and I'm going to use rattle can to prime these for him. Oh, I'm just holding it up like y'all can see what it is. He is, where's the other top of it? These are squigs. So, my husband loves the orcses, and he's building his army, and he is squigging out. So I'm going to take those out, and since it's winter, they'll dry in like 8 seconds. I'm not even worried about that. And he also is going to let me paint 10 of his orcs. I know, dangerous, right? But being originally from Nashville, it was really cool because with his orcs, he's doing buses. Because one of the reasons he loves the orcs in Warhammer is they can basically do what they want with impunity when it comes to like what vehicles, and because they kit bash everything. Like it's a ton of fun, so I get it. But he's letting me paint 10 of his orcs, and I also get to paint one of his buses. I'm gonna make it a Nashville party bus. Okay, so he's gonna print me these little panels, because like you put panels on war machines. He's gonna print me some panels to like put up and stuff, but we're gonna put little ledges here with little bitty beer bottles. I'm gonna put a little disco ball inside of it. I'm gonna put the tiniest stripper pole. And I'm gonna put Nash Trash Tours on the side. So if you want to know what we're doing during Christmas, during our Christmas break, that's what we're doing. So yeah. Embrace the ridiculous. So I'm actually really excited about this. But I'm going to set this to the side because I am going to use the airbrush on one of my figures briefly. And I was getting ready to go, and I was like, why not film doing this and see if I can do it from this angle. So I've got my top-down camera right here for my film wall painting videos, and I've got some voiceovers for those I need to get recorded. New contrast paints I bought that I'm taking tonight. What's really funny? This has nothing to do with what I'm about to do. But I have this toolbox where I keep all my paints. This guy right here. And it's got a little bitty toolbox in there that comes with it. I've done a whole video about that. But every time I buy more paint, somehow it all still fits. Don't know how. Don't care. It fits. So if it fits, if it fits, I sit. So that makes me super happy. But tonight, I'm going to be working on some details. So I've got, let me shine the light this. Woo, no, not like that. Shine up a little bit. So this is my Leviathan. And I've got pretty much all the detail on him I want, but I want to bring the gold detail up on this a little bit. So there'll be a little bit of dry brushing happening on him tonight. But then I have my Contemptor. Look at how pink and cute he is. So if you look at this guy, he's got a little bit of shadow on him in places. I don't know how to make this work. Oh, there we go. I just discovered another place I need a light, which is behind this if I'm going to do it. So he's got a little bit of extra shadow on him. He started out in like a metallic-y purple, and I brought up a little bit of highlights with a pink. This one starts out pink. I'm going to, tonight, before I go, bring a little highlight up on him. And then I've got these guys to paint. This is the one whose hand I put on backwards. I'm not going to fix. But these are the retinue. It's a command squad, but they're going to be the retinue for my Praetor. And that was the last thing I needed to have a perfect 3,000 point army, including my Dreadnought. I don't have 3,000 points without the Dreadnought, but I'm not sure I would ever do a campaign without it at this point. But these are what I'm going to work on. This is my finished Dreadnought. I just have to do magnetizing. I think I'm going to save magnetizing all of them for one day because I have a whole bunch of little magnets to work with, and I want to be mad once because I started to do it, and then I was like, we're going to do this all in one day. But I'm very proud of him. Yes, these are very Slaaneshi. They are Emperor's Children. They are the Dreadnoughts. If we're going to do Slaanesh, we're going to lean all the way into it. So yeah, these are the Dreadnoughts. And then these guys, I don't know how I feel about it. I let my husband do a zenithal on them for me after I primed in black. But he did a zenithal with a not Citadel paint. And if you know me, you know I got to have Citadel paints on my Warhammer figures. I use Pro Acryls and Army Forge and all of those. I do. I use the AKs. I love AK paints. I love Pro Acryl and Army Forge. but I'm Brandy when it comes to my Space Marines. But he did Zenithal in these because I wanted their base to be pink, and he did it really nice for me. So I'm going to work on these tonight as well. So, and then my Palatine blades are done. That they're my Palatine party posse, and these are the Yas squad. It's full Grum and Slanesh. Get into it. And then I've got some bejeweling to do with one of my Dreadnoughts here. And I'm going to look at the rest of these to see if there's any more bejeweling I want to do. But, magnetize everything. I'm picking stuff up on my little magnet tray here because that's what you do. Magnetize everything. He's magnetized. I put 3 on him. But I'm going to take him off. I'm going to set this tray that's coming with me tonight over here. There we go. So now I need my airbrush. I have an airbrush kit now that I take with me if I'm going to Mastermind. They have an airbrush set up when you go in there to paint. And when we want just a relaxing all-day paint, don't be interrupted, that's where we go. If we're just trying to, have fun and like immediately, we go to the other one. But this is my airbrush box now. Initially, this was my put stuff together box, and it still is, because this toolbox, well, it's not even a toolbox, it's a tackle box. But it has pull-out compartments that have dividers in them. Very handy. But down here are my gnomes for Blood Bowl. I'm not working on those until I finish my 3,000 points. I'm so close to being done. But yeah, I use this for transporting all my airbrush stuff now. And if whatever I'm working on that needs airbrushing. So with this guy, I need to choose from these metallics. I've really become a huge fan of Turbo Dork. And then the other one I have are the Vallejos. So I'm going to pick, so he is, God, he's cute. I'm going to pick a nice pinky, a darker pink to be his kind of highlights. So I'm looking through these. This is the Romeo and Juliet color. I think that might be the one that I want because I based him in a really nice pink. Sugar Rush is a really nice color. I've got 2 of the Hotline. I don't know how that happened. 2 Hotlines. Yeah, this guy is based in... No, the other one's based in Taro. Is this what this one's based in? If it is. No, this one's based in Romeo and Juliet. I want the Hotline. There we go. Is this the one I've opened? Yeah. So I want Hotline to be its shadow. The Vallejos, I really like them. One thing I have learned, though, is that when you're using these paints, you have got to put them on a black base. Won't work otherwise. Which, I feel like that should be like auto knowledge. Wasn't. My dog is in the corner making noise, so if you hear him, he lives here too. He's my favorite. But let me grab this. Now, I've become pretty decent at airbrushing. You notice I'm not putting anything over my clothes or anything. I invested, me and my husband invested in actually taking a couple of airbrush classes. When I bought this airbrush, so I'm going to pull my 2 hobby shops together now, briefly. The twain shall meet for a moment. But I bought my airbrush from Mastermind Gaming, and they're really cool folks. And the reason they're special to us is when I first came to Huntsville, that was the first date my husband took me on. High Ground actually didn't even exist yet when he and I were dating. So the first time I came down here to spend time with him, he took me there for a surprise date. And it was what's called paint and take, where you paid $10 at Mastermind and you got to pick from a certain set of figures and then sit and use their paints and brushes. And we just sat there all day and painted, and it was lovely. So they have a special place in our heart. And as I started coming more, that would be a place that we'd go, once a month or so. And, they've got a new building now, and it's really great. I'm really super happy for them. Clay, if you're watching, good job. But yeah, I bought my airbrush from them, and they taught me how to use it initially. But that was almost 2 years ago now. And I'll be honest, when I first got it, it was so intimidating. I tried using it, didn't know what I was doing. I thought I understood the class, and then they helped me out again, and it just turned out I was dumb. But then over at the High Ground, they offered a more in-depth airbrushing class. It was ran by a friend of ours. So we were like, you know what? Let's go support our friend. Let's go support another shop we love. We believe in supporting local business. Quick connect. You gotta have one. Is this thing off? It is. That doesn't help me. The air compressor was off. There we go. Make sure you got air flowing. What has he done to this? My husband used it last, and he turned the air pressure way down. That's better. And my dog hates the air compressor, so now he is making a hasty retreat out of this room. There we go. I got the pressure I want now. I know, baby. You did a bad sound. You did a bad sound. Though you've been licking your butt. You have a hot spot? Ooh, you do. We're gonna fix that as soon as this goes off. Is that a hot spot? Let me see. Oh, it sure is. I'm gonna fix that here in like 8 seconds. And he ran away from me because he hates the hot spot spray. Hates it. But yeah, so he's playing. That's what he's going to do to me because he knows what I'm about to do to him. It's just a spray, and it keeps him from licking, and it makes it go away. But yeah, so I was not good at using this. But after taking another class and more practice, I'm really confident with it now. If you're not confident with your airbrush, highly advise find a place where you can take a class on this. YouTube is great, but for certain things, there's nothing like having real hands-on instruction. I am a trainer by trade. I teach people. I do a lot of virtual instructing. I get it, which is probably why I do pretty good in this kind of environment, just being off the cuff talking. But it is better for some things to be done live and in person. And this is one where having someone there in real time to help you figure things out made a huge difference. And I don't need a lot of paint today, which is why I know I can do this before going. But this is a bottle of water for helping me clean my airbrush. And this is isopropyl alcohol. This is how I clean my brush in different quantities. And I've got my paper towel laid down here. There he goes. Real life, y'all. So what I'm doing is I'm putting water in here first to make sure I have the flow that I need. So I'm going to spray the back of my hand. And I always do that. I clean my airbrush every time I use it. But I always like to make sure, is it flowing the way it should? He ain't heard no in his life. All right, so so I'm going to do right now, because I'm just putting little highlights on this. He's going to be part of the video. Pookums! Squeechums! He's going to squeak that squeaky. He's so funny. He's my baby. He runs this house. But he's a very good dog, actually. He's I'll tell you the story about how I got him one day, but he's a rescue. We rescued each other. It's a good story. So what I'm going to do now is literally put like a drop of flow improver in here. Never put too much. But you always want a little flow improver. And always use paints that are designed for an airbrush. That was one of the mistakes I was making. And then also, I love my airbrush. I learned how to use this kind of trigger. My husband has like the kind where you squeeze this way, but I learned how to use this, and I'm most comfortable with it. But use paints that are designed for the airbrush. I'll be honest, like a year and a half ago, I didn't know that the Citadel paints. I'm gonna open this up real quick. That said, here's one. Is this? Yeah, this is Eidolon Air Clear. I didn't know that air meant it was for airbrush. I thought it was just a really light contrast paint. I know now. So those are the things you can only learn by experiencing. And then this is airbrush thinner. I'm going to put a drop of that in here. This just helps make sure that you get the right consistency and that nothing clogs up in the tip here. You'll notice that my airbrush is very clean. And then I'm going to shake the paint. But these Turbo Dorks and the other one that I mentioned, that they are made for the airbrush. And I did not know about airbrush metallics until I was at Mastermind a few weeks ago with my husband, and they had just put them out. And I haven't seen anyone else who sells Turbo Dorks in the city, actually. So this was a really nice find. Open these up. But yeah, just a little airbrush advice that I've learned. I'm not an expert at airbrushing. I'm just a burger telling a burger where they found bread. And then I'm going to throw my paint in here. I'm not going to need a lot this time because I'm not doing anything major. So look, that's a minuscule amount of paint that's in here. So what I'm going to do is backflow. So I'm going to put my finger over the tip here. What I'm doing is backflowing to mix the flow improver with the thinner and the paint. So now it'll all flow evenly. Now don't just get the spray in. Moving my figure over to the side here. I'm going to give it a light spray and making sure it comes out in the consistency I want. You just need another gloved hand. I use my hand. Black gloves work too, but use a dark colored glove to help you see where stuff is coming out. And now I'm going to highlight this guy. I'm going to hold him far away from me. Make sure my mist is what I want. And we're highlighting. It won't take long at all. because I just want this misted on here. The reason I'm going with a metallic for the highlights is because this is a metallic paint on his base. I want to keep that shimmer going. I love it when a plan comes together. That looks pretty darn good. I think that's all I want on him. I didn't want to go too far with the highlighting because I don't want to take away from his true base coat. But yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. And you can also make sure the paint runs out, but now just press forward without pulling back the trigger, and I'm drying my figure. That's the air compressor. When we come home from painting tonight, I'm going to be hanging some more Christmas lights because I'm extra. I found some in the garage that hadn't gotten put out. So every time I find lights, they go up. So I'm just going to be working on him tonight, not his weapons. His weapons I'll probably do tomorrow. And I think I'll film that as well because I think I'll have time to do that. Yep, happy. So now I got to clean this thing. So that's where the alcohol comes in. So since I used a very small amount of paint, I'm going to backflow this isopropyl alcohol. If you're going to paint again right after, you got to make sure you clean the alcohol out of your airbrush because it can make paint gunk up. So I'm spraying and making sure no color is coming out on this white paper, white kitchen paper or paper towel for those of us in America. I'm going to backflow some water into it. Just having even these little squirt bottles was a revelation that I learned in my airbrush class. I really like the hood on this dress. I'm not sure I'm going to take it off until January 25th. Spray, spray. No colors coming out. And it was such a small amount of paint that I can basically call this done. Yeah, we're done. Sprayed and done. Awesome. So I'm going to disconnect and turn off the air compressor because it's on my nerves. And I've got a little stand here, boom, that he's going to sit in because I've got some more airbrushing I'll probably end up doing tomorrow. So I'm just going to leave my airbrush kit right under me. And what I'm going to do is go out and do some priming on my husband's squigs, let those dry, and then I'll come pack us up to go tonight. What time is it? And the vacuum just started. If you don't have one of those auto vacuums, we call ours Jeeves, a Roomba. They're not as expensive as they used to be. You can get them at Walmart, and many brands now. But yeah, get you one. I got a dog that sheds. He's precious. I love you so much. But he a shedding monster. So I'm gonna go take care of the doggy's hotspot now. But that was just a little bit of prep to go paint and super easy. I'm gonna do a longer video tomorrow. When I film next, just with other projects that I'm painting, a little bit more detail work and that kind of thing. Because this actually turned out to be a really good angle, and I'm pretty happy with it. This is filming with my iPad, just seeing behind the curtain. I know it's going to shake a little bit because it's on the table. I'll figure that out between today and tomorrow. But yeah, I kind of liked this. Good angle. Might wear the same thing because I'm really loving the hood. I think I need to do my lips red. They're purple. I don't know. They're feeling festive enough. I got a light up Christmas necklace I'm probably gonna put on tonight too, because she's what one calls the most. All right. Anywho, quick video, little airbrushing, just letting you see some of the progress I'm making. But I'm gonna go do work with friends tonight and have a great time. Find people to game and hobby with. That makes such a big difference to have people to do hobbies with that are cool to do them with. I will be honest, without the gaming shops and the people we've met there, I may not have gotten into the tabletop gaming. And there's still a lot of stuff I'm learning. I've always loved the lore of Warhammer, but I would never have considered actually playing the game had we not met people worth playing the games with. And now I'm kind of on a mission to like get all the wives and girlfriends to cross over. But yeah, so as usual, please like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully I see you in the next one. And I hope you're having a fantastic holiday season.